Thank you for that question. I am the assembly member of Skid Row, and I just recently had that redistricted into my community. And what I found is we have enough money, enough resources, enough programs to actually tackle that and also tackle the problems in your community to be able to address it. The problem is a lack of coordination. We have all these different silos. The county does one thing, the city does another, but most important, we have no one in charge. If I ask everyone in this room who's in charge of homelessness, you may say it's the city, you may say it's the county, you may say it's LASA, you may say it's the feds, you may say it's the state. There is no one accountable for making sure that it gets done, that addresses your issue and the issue that you brought up. My AB 89 was a bill to create a homeless czar that actually put someone in charge. The bureaucracy and the legislature didn't want to do it because, again, they don't want to have someone in charge. They have accountability measures so we can focus like a laser on the problem that you're talking about, providing people with the proper linguistic and to know what you need, because your needs may be different from the needs that are on Skid Row right now, and we need to address it and focus like a laser. And so if that bill had passed, we'd be in much better shape, and I plan to make sure that we're able to do that. I'm going to bring that bill back again because it died in appropriations, because I think at the end of the day, if just like we had with COVID, we had one person in charge, and look where we are. We're all not wearing a mask anymore.
So the reality is that this community, this data that you share has really shown a vulnerability specifically for this community. So I have a three-way approach to address this, especially as it comes to all of you. First, cultural competence, language justice, and outreach. I believe that the fact that a lot of you don't know where these services are, or how to advocate for more services, or how to go out there and say we need more homelessness outreach, has a lot to do because in a lot of ways we don't speak the language, and as a second language person, I can relate to that. And also, the city doesn't nearly does enough outreach. If you believe that the city does enough outreach on homelessness, raise your hand. Well, I figure that. So, the other part that I believe that is important is that we need to prevent homelessness. And as a renter, that's like really dear to me. We need to protect more renters. We need to make sure that affordable housing is built. We need to make sure that also we protect the stock of rent control units. I live on one of them, so I know. And we need to also build more socialized housing. And City Hall doesn't have enough outreach strategies to identify how to best protect this community and how to best address this community. So I'm very committed to implementing those policies that acknowledge the specific challenges of this community. Thank you so much.
The fact is the numbers, 103% increase, 174 increase in the Pacific Islander community is huge. The reality is we're not going to be able to do every single language when we've got more than a dozen Asian languages. So how are we really going to provide these services? And you know what? I say it's the nonprofits. It's the volunteers who always go out and make things happen. But we need to teach them how to run the system. Just like employees of LASHA and other nonprofits that are out there trying to go about helping folks who are on the street who want to be housed, I think we should be able to do that with our nonprofits as well. Initially, it may be that there's only one person in one language, but a larger language, say Korean or Tagalog, if they don't speak English, although most Filipinos do speak English. So let's say the Mongolian community, right? We need to have services in those languages. If all of a sudden the Bangla community has grown, then we're going to have to hire someone who can speak it. But until that is a reality, I would use our nonprofit volunteers and nonprofit employees to get the message out, to teach you how to service folks who are in need. If we have more people who know how to get through the system, we can do better for the community.
In 2017, I was pastoring a church, was going to Claremont School of Theology, and was living on Manhattan Place in K-Town when I found myself homeless for 3 months, couch surfing from place to place. And then I got the opportunity to serve on the LASA's Black People Experiencing Homelessness Committee. From there, I went and served on the county level on the Anti-Racism, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee, and we look at these numbers in the Homelessness Task Force Commission for the county and the city. So yes, coordination is a big issue, with that the county and the city keep trading who does the work. Yes, we need to make sure that nonprofits are the ones who are the trusted messengers to move people in the community into homes in our community, especially in K-Town. But we also need to make sure we have conflict resolution models. There's too many buildings in K-Town that have space for people to live in that we are underutilizing and are not using. So we need to bring the business community, the faith community, and nonprofit community together along with elected officials to have true coordination to address the frontline issues. As a pastor, I know all too well how churches and faith communities and nonprofits stay on the front line and understand what people are going to on a day-to-day basis. We can do this together. We can make sure that language access is not a like to have, but a must have in order to contract with the city and with LASA as well. We can do this together, and I believe that's are some of the ways of how we address homelessness in our city.